Hey everyone, this is my Patreon proud reaction to the 12th episode of Granbelm. And with a lot of shows, this would be the last episode, but this one does have 13, which is nice. Now, last episode, there was a big focus on Mangetsu and her role kind of, well, in general, but also in Shingetsu's life, and a lot of Mangetsu trying to let Shingetsu know that everything will be okay, even if she's gone, you know? We had that whole talk about the full moon and new moon and disappearing and how all that's in the stars, and I can't exactly do it justice, but it was a very nice conversation for sure. And just I would prefer Mangetsu to stay, you know, despite everything she says. I still would like that, you know. This definitely was foreshadowed, Mangetsu's behavior in this situation early on in the show. As someone kind of suggested, I did rewatch the first couple episodes, and there was this, the big thing of Mangetsu doing her kind of self-sacrifice stuff. You know, anytime there was a job people didn't want to do, she's like, hey, I'll do it, you know, that sort of thing. And that really does kind of prepare us for this, you know, this kind of attitude that Mangetsu takes towards this, and she's just okay with disappearing if it'll be helpful, you know, to Shingetsu or the world or all that, you know, finally finding a purpose and all this Granbelm craziness. But I still want her to stay. That's still my overarching point. So I believe where we ended off, we were about to get ready for another round of Granbelm. So yeah, let's get into that. So 3, 2, 1, play. You can't have a sad episode without rain. Wow. I think I got really crazy with the text there. But Shingetsu. It's a good question. It sure really does feel like a combo between Madoka and Review Starlight with Mech thrown in. That's really what it feels like. And that's continuing, even now. Except no giraffe here. It's magic coconuts instead. I'm just still crossing my fingers and hoping for a happy ending. That's all I really can do. You know, that one Mech's post like, hey, I'm here. Why are these still the best name of any mech? That never changed either. And this is the stage where we left off. Almost feel like we're at the bottom of a spiky pit, you know? Wow, that moon is big. I assume that's a moon. Yeah, you have to do this even though there's probably so much on our mind right now. Oh god. Uh, is it too late to go home now? It disappeared. Wow. They're like waterbenders. I don't know what to think of you, honestly. At least we have each other. Simultaneous nod, that's how you know there's a true bond there. Yeah, I didn't expect it to do anything. Friggin' broken Suisho. You're not fair. I love the split screen there. You have no position to badmouth anyone else. You literal monster, you. It's like a giant flower barrier. So we're still going with that, huh? I could top you insanity. Is that what you call it? Wow, she's that old. She doesn't look too bad for her age, but... But what if one is worthy? I really don't want you to become the princeps. How many times have we done this? Ooh. I guess she's the true Homer of this show. I'm okay with you being butthurt. Let's continue that going if we can. Humans are very resilient things, you know. Very determined things. Oof. Oh. Oh no, not that thing again. Because again, we have each other though, so... Way better than having a monster. Is everyone okay? Well, I don't care about Medusa being okay. That thing can just go die. That is not fair. I shouldn't forget about Orca. Oh. I'll show you enough. Eventually. Well, that doesn't mean you're invincible. Though it does explain why you're so hard to kill. But she's not good enough. That time has finally happened. Finally arrived. But that's a truth she does not want to accept no matter what. I really do love the teamwork. Like, oh, this looks like a giant fist that's coming towards me, then boom. Double. Really wish you would stop doing that. Can't you just let people successfully hurt you already? Oh no, oh no. You're supposed, no, that's not how you do it. You're supposed to say Ernesta. You're supposed to yell it. Can't even do that right. But you won't. That hand is just, it's just the worst. Almost like it's made of a bunch of hair, like, you know, the horror movie The Ring, you know, like the hair, like it's very unpleasant is what I'm trying to say. I would hate to be grabbed by it. We're not gonna make it. I already wanted you dead, Suisho. You just somehow made that stronger. I hope Mangetsu does it. The hand again. You get out of my cockpit. Better a doll than a freaky monster thing. An old freaky monster thing. Oh. Oh god. I mean, I admit that's not a good look, but... Oh. She's still better than you, so I'm not sure your point is. We have just destroyed this battlefield, haven't we? You can just shut up. I think that's for the magic coconuts to decide, not you. I mean, clearly. Even if they don't remember me. Oh, wow. This really does not look good. It's a great way to put it. Did I just see like a really big flower? I couldn't quite tell. Is this magic coconuts doing a thing? Oh. Okay, I guess she's fine. That's good. She's more fine than I would have possibly imagined. Good thing we had that. And we really were prepared. What does Shingetsu want to do? Man, it just blows my mind how many of those things there are. Yeah, it's like a giant flower of like pure energy. I don't know why you just have such a negative opinion of dolls. I mean, did a doll hurt you early in life? Not true. I mean, probably more likely than you, who's had like a million chances. Yeah, there she is. A lot of regret in this show. Definitely not Suisho. I see how none of that's like sunk in at all with you. Not that I expected it to. Oh wow. I can almost feel that power from here. I think you are though. Pretty much. Don't stop. Yes. Yes, it is. Both full and new. The doll. You just shut up, Suisho. I mean, the show made it pretty clear this is more or less how things are gonna go, but doesn't make it that much easier. But damn, the magic effects and battling in this episode was definitely on point. Suisho definitely channeling a bit of Anna there with all the screaming. You know, back in the day, I definitely never would have suspected Suisho was like the final boss, considering she was like an underling of Anna. But the show definitely made it kind of clear over time that there was more to this character than meets the eye. You know, being the one that did the curse on Kuon's sister. Becoming a dark creature thing on the roof in that one scene. Seeming more experienced with this than most of the other people. Okay. that was the 12th episode of Granbelm. And I'm not really sure where to start with this one. I mean, it was a very combat-focused episode, of course, because last episode wasn't. That's usually how the show goes. It has that kind of back and forth. This one was definitely all Granbelm. And we learned a lot about Suisho. You know, that she's been at this for like 1,000 years. She's supposedly got that blessing from the magic coconuts. And in spite of that, hasn't actually gotten like the okay, you know, to be the Princeps mage. And I feel like the 1,000 years of essentially failure in a way has really worn on her sanity, you know? So, yeah, the insanity that I always kind of got from her, that kind of progressed over this course, this episode. It makes a lot of sense that she's been, you know, doing this yoga for as long as she has. And yeah, she's definitely off her rocker. But yeah, Magic Coconuts, I guess, just doesn't consider her to be worthy of, you know, the Princeps. So I guess just keeps doing it over and over again until the final one left is worthy, I guess, is the idea. And her being in this position, I guess, is why she would know that Shingetsu is special. That she's actually has a real chance of being, I guess, the chosen one, you know, essentially. Even though she looks like Homura the most, Suisho was more of a Homura kind of character, you know? The whole been around for a lot longer than you might think, repeating things over and over again, trying to get a better result, like very much similar in that regard. Of course, and except for the fact that Suisho is the worst, you know, that is a pretty big difference, to be fair. But, we had one little thing that happened, like, off-screen, like, Mangetsu giving Shingetsu, like, the invisibility thing. So we had a bit of a fake out with the whole Shingetsu getting evaporated. You know, even saw, like, the hand disintegrates, which I knew it would. As soon as the hand was, like, severed and moving around, I just knew any second now was just going to do that typical evaporating thing. But as it turns out, she was okay. You know, I thought the best you could hope for is she was like damaged in a corner somewhere, can't really move, but technically alive. That's kind of what I was expecting / hoping for. But no, she was actually much more fine than that. It was all just kind of a play, and which is impressive because I mean, Mangetsu seemed pretty upset, so I guess that was just a good performance on her part. But yeah, those like needle things that are summoned. There's like so many of them. Like I have a freeze frame of it right here on my screen, and just on this one frame, there's like 100? I don't know, like there's a lot of them, Jesus. But yeah, just like I said, the magic effects were great, you know, all the little needles, explosions, giant energy beams. We got some really giant energy beams at certain points. Like, it's always a treat to watch it when they really go all out on these combat sequences. It's great to see. But Suisho is like really like ramping up the doll shaming in this episode. Like, you're just a doll, what do you know? Like, you don't know anything, you're not a good person, you're just literally garbage. Like, she was really just being really mean. I mean, that's kind of her character. Makes sense. But, you know, just stop. Just stop, Suisho. You are literally the worst, and yet you're trying to, you know, project this kind of stuff onto Mangetsu. She's much more human than you are. She's much better than you are in pretty much every way that matters. Just shut up, okay? That's kind of what my thoughts were for like the majority of all that stuff. But yeah, like it's been kind of foreshadowed pretty heavily, you know. The episode ended with Mangetsu kind of just evaporating, you know. That's what the plan was, to sacrifice herself for Shingetsu, you know. If we really are getting rid of magic, there's no way to keep her going anyway, so that's of course what she would do. Try to get the most value, the most use that she could. You know, this character that's always felt pretty useless and not necessary and whenever she is, and this was a chance for her to really do something important, meaningful, and at the same time trying to, you know, get across a point to Suisho about humans and what they're all about and all that. And Suisho seems not quite, that doesn't exactly have a favorable opinion of most people, it seems like, either, on top of not liking dolls apparently. But just, yeah, there's just a lot of crazy in her is really what it boils down to. I'm still gonna hope that there's some way to get Mangetsu back. It's just one of those things that I just have to hope for until the show's over. But it looked pretty bad. It looked pretty disintegrated, and that shot of showing like the doll that she initially made, you know, with Anna, that definitely at least tripled the pain of the scene of Mangetsu disappearing. So, you know, good job on that one, I guess. The same doll that we got to see Suisho, like, you know, snap limbs on. Just Suisho's the worst. I hate her. If we never see her again, it'll be too soon. We do have one episode left, and things seem to be pretty done now. for the most part, so I'm kind of curious what we'll do with that episode. We'll find out soon enough. Yeah, that one hand thing of Medusa's, that looks like it was made of a bunch of hair, no, I would rather die than get, like, squished with that, just, no. Like, I remember, like, this is like the horror movie thing where, like hair would come out of your throat or whatever, you know? Like, I can't remember exactly where I was seeing that, but that, you know, that kind of thing crossed my mind, like, maybe as it held on to her, it would, like, seep into the not pores, like, nooks and crannies, like, openings of the mech suit, and, like, get inside the cockpit. Like, I almost thought that would happen. I'm glad it didn't, but that was something that crossed my mind as well. That would have been the worst, so luckily that did not happen. But yeah, it definitely reminded me a lot of the episode, you know, the Anna episode where she disappeared. I definitely felt plenty of similarities there. Yeah, I really don't think I had much more to say on the episode, I just wish it would have went a bit happier than it did. I mean, it could have definitely went worse, that's for sure. Shingetsu's still alive, you know. But I would have liked happy, huggy ending better than someone disappearing forever and Shingetsu being all alone without her favorite love doll. That would be better for me. But regardless of what happens, hopefully Shingetsu is happy by the end of it. That's really probably the most I could hope for. So maybe she could make another doll. It probably doesn't work that way because, you know, magic's gonna be gone and all. So good episode though, definitely, for sure. And we'll see how things end off next time. Thank you for watching, and a special thanks to Cnouki and Ryan for supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this video, I hope you consider clicking the like button and leaving a comment, because that's a great and easy way to let me know that people want more. If you want to do something big to help the channel, you can support me on Patreon and get nice benefits like early access to certain videos. See you next time.